Hello, this is Allison Church. I hope you're having a good day. It's been a wonderful day. Um, I would like to talk about that one thing we all do, sometimes on a Sunday, shopping. Now, when I was him, I shopped the mail way, where I'd walk into the store, I know precisely what I wanted to get, I'd make a beeline for what I wanted, and I'd start heading to the cash register, and within 15 to 20 minutes, and with luck, I'd be out the door. Sometimes even sooner. It's all according to what time of the day that I would go, or early night. Well, I've discovered the girl way of shopping, and I actually like shopping that way, which means I do have a list. I know precisely what I want, but I take my time and I browse. I like to browse. I like to look for bargains. I like to look for, things that I didn't even think that I'd want. I mean, it's fun. And I get a chuckle sometimes when I see couples going through the store, and obviously the woman's in charge. So right behind her, or right on her side, is her significant, and he's rolling his eyes and trying to be as cooperative as possible. And he's going through the agonies of the damned, because all he wanted to do when he got there was to buy a bag of chips, go home and watch a movie. I get it. I was once, on his side of the shopping style. Most of the time at the Target that I shop at, the people are good. I mean, if they do have any kind of bad thoughts or conflicting ideas about my appearance, most seem to have a wonderful poker face. However, there are occasional people who deserve a gold star and go to the head of the class in bigotry. I was at the cash register. I prefer going to the cash register and talking to the cashier themselves. I like the small talk and the banter that goes on, because I had their job once and it sucks. And I do everything I can to make them laugh. Because if I can leave them with a smile, I think that perhaps they can stomach the rest of their day. And right behind me, there were two women. One was like in her early 20s, the other one was her 30s. But you could tell that they were friends because of the body language that they had. Well, the older lady turned to the younger one and said, "What kind of freak is this?" referring to me. Most days I would let it slide, but today I was feeling a little devilish. And I turned around like a game show host and I said, "Well, ladies, I am an Aquarius with Capricorn tendencies. I like walks on the beach, old movies, and lime-flavored margaritas." And then I paused, and they kind of like that. And then I looked at him and said, "For your future information, if you're going to talk about somebody in a negative way, you should assume that that person has excellent hearing and can hear every word you're saying. So I would suggest whispering." And then I turned around and I got my stuff and I left. And I could tell that the cashier got a big kick out of it, because I'm sure she's seen probably even more violent exchanges between people when waiting to have their groceries checked out. So, mission accomplished on both parts. Now, yesterday, I recorded an episode for a radio podcast, and it was a wonderful experience. I would have to say it's been a good 2 or 3 years since I've done a radio program, and the last one I did, I was him, and it was a nervous thing at first, but then the host, his name was David. Hi, David. Oh, I just had an American Werewolf in London moment. Okay. But it was a it was a good experience. We talked about the abuses that I went through in my early years when I was just starting to discover who I was and had to keep it to myself and in the closet, so to speak. And of my books and my writing career that I'm trying to build. And also of the unfortunate reality of dealing with people and their views of someone who is transgender. Now, most of the time, people are good. That's a blessing. But every now and then you get that one shining star that makes you question the future. But I talked to David for about an hour and 45 minutes, and it was a wonderful experience. I felt a little bit of warmth in knowing that talking to me was so important that he had his significant downstairs entertaining people for their own Christmas dinner, and he still thought me important enough to go upstairs and record this podcast. Now when it comes out, I will connect it to my page and you guys can see it. It was a good thing, and if David ever wants me to come back, all he has to do is ask. Now, to something more nerdy. I like to go to sci-fi conventions so that my inner nerddom can, relive things from my childhood. I'm a devout Babylon 5, Doctor Who, Lost in Space, Star Trek. Look at my transgender Star Trek shirt. Uber cool, BTW. And, these were things that were the cornerstones of my childhood and adulthood, sort of. I met the actress who played the mother, played the mother on Supernatural. Now, when Supernatural first came out, I wasn't that enthused to watch it because I had partners and friends that liked Buffy and Angel and shows like that, Roswell, and those didn't exactly blow wind up my skirts. Yeah. And I thought, unfortunately, that Supernatural was going to be along that same cut. It was not. It's cool. It's very cool. But I met the actress who played the mother, and I went up to her and I told her this, and she kind of scowled at me, which is a cool thing. I mean, this was a job for her too. Then I told her, I said, would you like to know why I became a devout Supernatural fan? And then she said yes. And I told her that there were two reasons. One, the car, the Chevy Impala that they drive around in the entire series, was created the same year that I was. And if that doesn't tell you how old I am, nothing will. And the character, Dean Winchester, he and I also share the same birthday, January 24th. And when I told her that, she kind of giggled a little bit, and there was a little excitement there. I guess she never met anybody who told her that that I shared the same birthday as her fictional son. It's kind of a cool thing, I think so. And she came out from behind their table and she hugged me. And I thought that was cool. And for the first time, a celebrity signed a picture to me under the name Allison. I'll attach that to this episode so you guys can see it. But it was a good moment, and I was not as refined in my makeup skills as I am now. I had very bushy, Joan Crawford-like Mommy Dearest eyebrows. And I was terrible with eye makeup. That was one of the things that I learned to do really good, for the simple fact that I got to wear my Fauci face all the time. And it's the one thing that, not the only thing, people can look at where I work. So it was a fun thing. It's a good memory. I will leave you guys now. There's going to be a 2-day hiatus. I have to go to work, and I will be at work for 2 days. Joy. So you guys take care of yourself. I appreciate all of the words of encouragement that you give me, the advice that you give me, and the general banter that you give me. It's all good. It keeps me going. You don't know how precious it is to me, and I love you all for your time and your efforts. So, on that note, this is Allison Church, and this has been Allison Through the Looking Glass. I want you to treat each other with kindness, take care of yourself, and above all, be happy. Bye-bye.